Which of the following pairs of squares should be shaded so that the figure has a line of symmetry? Right? Think about it. The line of symmetry could be vertical. Then these two should have be shaded, or both should be unshaded. So that's not possible. We have freedom only over shading PQRS. So there is no vertical line of symmetry. Likewise, if we put horizontal, this one, this is shaded, this is unshaded, and we cannot change this. So there is no horizontal line of symmetry either. So we have to go for diagonal, either this diagonal or this diagonal, one of the two. First I'm going to consider this diagonal. This folds on, this works fine, this works fine, T and S work fine, this part works fine, but this is shaded, but we can shade R. So shade R and you could be through. And then this sits here, this sits here, Q and this part, this and this also work perfectly fine. Q needs to be shaded because this side is shaded, Q has to be shaded. P, it doesn't matter, either shaded or unshaded, that's fine. It should be either completely shaded or completely unshaded, that is fine. So about this diagonal, if we shade Q and R, it will work out brilliantly. So if we shade Q and R, we get a symmetric, one of the diagonals to be a line of symmetry. Let's just verify. This can never be possible outside of the diagonals. So let's verify the other choices. P and R being shaded, this shaded and this shaded. About this diagonal, this will work. Right? This becomes symmetric. This is not shaded. This is shaded. This is not shaded. So about this diagonal, there is no symmetry. About this diagonal, this will be shaded. This will be not shaded. Doesn't work. P and R does not work. Q and T, again, once again, does not work. If T is shaded and this is unshaded, we are in trouble vis-a-vis this diagonal. Right? T is shaded, S is unshaded, vis-a-vis this diagonal, we are in trouble. It doesn't work. P and S likewise does not work. If we shade P and S, about this diagonal there can be no symmetry because this is shaded, this is not shaded. Right? About this diagonal, S shaded and this not shaded, we won't have symmetry. Only possibility is Q and R. Right? So I'm going to shade Q and R. Q completely shaded, R completely shaded. So about this axis, this diagonal as a line of symmetry, these two work, these two work, these two work, T and S both unshaded, these two work, these two work, these two work, these two work, both shaded, P is smack in between. Q and R works perfectly fine. So if we shade Q and R, the figure will have a line of symmetry, this diagonal. It might even have this diagonal as another line of symmetry. Let's try that out. Yep, this part and this part work, these two work, these two work, this symmetric, this part is symmetric, unshaded, unshaded, fine, these squares are fine, shaded, shaded, that is fine, these two squares fine, this is fine. So if we shade Q and R, it will have two lines of symmetry. About both diagonals, this will be symmetric.